Morning everyone. Just wanted to have my minute silence. How's everyone doing this morning? Right, let's crack on then, shall we? Right, I'm just gonna post a link to our website. And then pin that. There we are. Morning Donna, morning Deborah Randall, morning Sarah, morning Gaynor, morning Janice, morning Teresa, morning Caroline, morning Yvonne, morning Judy, morning Carolyn. Right, I shall move this out of the way now. Right, so this morning I'm going to be showing you how to decorate this. Hiya Bev. So this is something we've just suddenly dreamed up over the weekend. It was based on, I saw someone posted on a blog post about it was the shape of an angel, and it was on the corner of a door frame. So I thought, ooh, that would be nice if we could do something like that out of MDF. So I thought maybe this would be quite nice. So this is home, and basically, well, you can stick it so that you've got your door there. You can stick it so it's on the corner of your door, either that way or that way, whichever. Or you can just put it onto, if you've got a mirror or a picture or anything like that, you can, because it's MDF, it's quite thin, so you wouldn't be able to stand it freestand, let it freestand, but if anyone is interested in a freestanding version, let me know, and it may be something we'll be able to do. Morning Julie, hi Dawn. Morning Laura. So this one I've done using, so a lot of the techniques, if you've got any MDF projects to do, a lot of the techniques you can use in any MDF project. It doesn't just have to be in this one. Why is my camera wonky? Drives me potty when it's a bit wonky. Yeah, so all the techniques, and as you can see, it's just a plain MDF. This is 3mm MDF. So these we laser cut ourselves. So this one, the home one, comes with the MDF backing, and then you also get the 3 letters in it. H-O-M-O. Oh, H-O-M-E even. Right, so I've just started decorating this one. This is the one I'm going to do today. So I'm going to be using, this is just a 12 by 12 backing paper. Don't ask me what thickness it is. It's not excessively thick. Probably about 160, 180 grams, something like that. And as if we planned it, half a sheet of 12 by 12, so this is actually 6 inches wide, just about fits the height on that side, and then also the height on that side. So you can actually cover the whole thing in one sheet of 12 by 12. Just cut it in half. Just cut it at 6 inches straight down the middle, and that's your two sides. Marvellous, isn't it? So the first thing I'm going to do, because I need to leave that to dry for a little bit, is I'm going to use some Mod Podge. So the Mod Podge I've got is Mod Podge Matte. So we do it in an 8 fluid ounce pot, and we do it in a 16 fluid ounce pot. The 16 ounce one is huge, and it will last for ages and ages and ages. We also do it in the gloss finish. So if you prefer a glossy finish, this is the matte, so you can sort of maybe see that there isn't much of a shine to it, apart from on the gilding polish around the edges, maybe. But yeah, so there's not much of a shine to that. But the gloss finish one would obviously have a glossier finish. We also do a dishwasher proof Mod Podge. There's loads of different ones you can get, but we only have a couple. So the dishwasher one is suitable for washing things in the dishwasher. Obviously you wouldn't use it on this, because you wouldn't put this in the dishwasher, because it's MDF and it would end up in a blob. But you can use it if you're doing glitter glasses or any sort of glass decoration, or on plates and things like that. Morning, Judith. How is everyone this morning? Are we all okay? What's the weather like where you are? Because it ain't very nice here. It's a bit dull and gloomy today. Hi Sarah. Sarah even? I keep getting names mixed up. Right, so I'm also going to use, to apply the Mod Podge, I'm going to be using a foam brush. And we do sell different widths of the foam brushes in the shop, and I've posted a link at the bottom, so if you just click on the link, it'll take you to that specific category on the website, and everything, or a lot of the things we're using today, are on the website there. I think there's 3 different sized foam brushes that we do. This is the 1 inch one. I think we do a 2 inch, and I'm not sure if there's a 1.5 inch one as well. Hello Liz! So with the Mod Podge, dead easy to use. Just get some on your foam brush and then just paint it onto the MDF. And I tend to work out to the edges, so that, and you need to make sure that when you put the Mod Podge on, that you do go right to the edges, because you want it to stick flush. Morning John, how are you? How is everyone today? Got any plans for the day? Anything exciting going on? Washing your hair? Doing some washing? Maybe a bit of dusting? Or having a duvet day? Or crafting? Perfect weather for crafting this is, isn't it? Perfect. So just make sure you've got a nice even layer of the Mod Podge. It will soak in a little bit into the MDF as well, so work fairly quickly. Oh, working, Caroline. Oh, that's not fair, is it? Well, and then I'm just going to carefully position this backing sheet over the top of that. Don't worry about the fact that it's overlapping on the left hand side. Just check that's all okay. Might be a bit tight there, but it should be all right. And then give it a really good rub. So we need to make sure that the paper is really nicely adhered to the MDF. God, Donna's on the ball this morning. Yes, we did have a minute's silence this morning, Caroline, for all the NHS and key workers that have sadly lost their lives. Scary times. I tend to use Mod Podge for things like this, Donna, because you can use it. It's a glue and it's also a sealer. And because of the consistency of it, it's quite a thin consistency, so it's designed for doing this type of technique. So I would advise Mod Podge, because once we've done this, we're also going to be, if you look on this one's actually been sealed with the same Mod Podge over the top. So then once it's all nicely adhered, I'm just going to rub my finger around the edge. Just to make sure it's all nicely sealed, and then I know where the edge of the project is as well. Yeah, so can you go rinse that bottle, please? Is Mod Podge okay for projects outside? You can get a Mod Podge that is specifically for outdoor projects, which is called Outdoor Mod Podge, I think it is. We haven't got any. We can probably get some. I don't see why you couldn't use this for outdoor projects.
Just got to leave it cure for 36 hours.
Apparently you've got to let it, my voice in my head says you've got to let it cure for 36 hours.
It's a lovely voice, isn't it?
Morning
everyone.
Oh, you can do a built-up finish by mixing sand in with it. Interesting. Anyway. Oh, Sarah's been cutting out decoupage. It's quite therapeutic, isn't it, actually? It's surprising. Some people can't stand it and some people just love it. Right, so that's that done. So before I do anything else with that, I'm just going to leave that aside to dry for a bit. And then I'm going to work on the letters. So I've already done a couple of the letters just to save a bit of time. So I've just done a couple of coats. This is gesso, which is always a good idea to use on MDF as a primer. And the reason for that is that because MDF is quite porous, it can soak into whatever you're putting on your medium can soak into the MDF. So if you're using a more expensive fancy paint, it's always better to put a primer on first of all, because then the paint won't soak in and you won't end up using so much of it, because obviously you don't want to waste it. So I'm actually just going to use the primer as the finished thing, because I haven't got any white paint. But what you can do if you've got white paint is you can put a coat of primer on first of all, and then you can paint just acrylic white acrylic paint on top of that, or any other colour that you want to use. You can use white or any colour to match your decor. Right, so I'm going to use the same foam brush. Ian's dried it for me, Ian's washed it for me, and I'm just drying it now. Has anyone else got subtitles coming up on this Facebook Live? I did try and turn them off, but it doesn't seem to have worked. It's driving me potty. Hi Maureen, how are you?
Coffee?
Oh, coffee, yes please. He says the nicest things. Oh dear. Judith says she had an unexpected indoor firework display last night when the whole light exploded.
Oh.
My jacket was used to put out the charred remains of the fitting. Oh, good grief, come. Oh no, no working ceiling lights. Oh. You've got lots of candles? Candles will be lovely. Be like Wee Willy Winky. Running around with candles. Oh dear, what a time to have that happen. What a nightmare.
I see she's trying to craft.
Donna said, I have what?
Lots of candles.
Oh, lots of candles? Oh, and Janice as well. Can you lend them to Judith? I think she might need some. Oh yeah, Sarah likes the subtitles, but I wish I could turn them off, because I don't want them on there. I don't mind if anyone else wants them, but... And it comes up with all sorts of weird things sometimes as well, like... Johnny? Who the hell's Johnny? Anyway, so I'm just going to give that a quick dry. You can leave it to just dry naturally, but just for the sake of speed, I'm going to use my heat tool just to give it a quick whiz. Dries fairly quickly anyway, so yep. So I'm just going to give that another coat, just to give it a nice finish. Yeah, so at the moment we've got Home and Love as the two options. We're trying to limit it to just a couple of just short words if we can, so we don't really want to do anything particularly long because it might be a bit of a pain. Then I suppose you could maybe do family and have FA at the top. Thank you. And the M, the rest of it running down the side, maybe. There's all sorts of different things that we could do. There's all sorts of designs I've been thinking up. Just need to get them out of my head. And we've got other things we need to sort out before then, like Caroline's Gemini stand thing. We're on the case, Caroline. Caroline?
Caroline Grimmins, yes.
Why does Caroline not sound right all of a sudden?
Only in your head, only in your head.
I'm losing the plot.
Trying to think of it.
Hello, Alice. How are you? You want that for me, please? Let's just going to give this a quick spritz. The gesso is water-based anyway, or the stuff that we sell is water-based. Ooh, Christmas words. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? But certainly not Xmas. I would never do Xmas, because I can't stand the word Xmas.
Noel, try.
Could do Noel.
Try, push flow.
Merry. Happy. But don't ask me to do Xmas, because I won't do it. Yeah, that'd be quite nice actually. Ooh, that's a good idea, Donna. Because then you could bring them out just at Christmas then, couldn't you? Do some nice poinsettia flowers as decoration. Oh, you've got my mind whirring now. Oh yes, snow.
Peace.
Peace will be a nice one as well.
Jolly.
Bridget. Which is bright spelt wrong. Nice, cup of coffee. Right, so I'm just going to give that a quick blast, just so I don't put my hands in it.
You may even look at doing tiny ones to go around or on the corner of your light switches as well. So.
Yeah, I could do. Carolyn has said, any chance of sew and create as MDF words? And she said, I'll answer to anything, even or you. Or you. Yeah, we've had that problem as well, Carolyn. Sew and create, yeah, because you could do sew with a little spool of thread, and then create. Yeah, that'd be nice for your craft room. Or we could do craft as well. So you could put that outside your craft room door, so everyone knows where your craft room is. Although they'll probably see all the mess outside, like Ian's. Right, so I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit more. Over there. Those ones are already dry, so I'll get them out of the way. So going back to my decoupage bit. So to get all this excess paper off, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pair of scissors. I'm just going to cut a little bit closer to the MDF, because if you wanted, you can keep that little piece and use that on a card, be like a nice border or something, or you can die cut something out of it, so don't waste that. And then the other thing that I found is quite easy, quite a good idea to do, is to, where you got the bits that go in, because we're going to be using a sanding block. Don't look at the state on it. It's falling to pieces, this one. But because we're going to be using a sanding block to get rid of the excess paper, to get into all of these little nooks and crannies, sometimes it's easier if you just take a pair of scissors and just snip in relatively close. Just makes it a little bit easier when it comes to sanding. So
nail files as well.
Just snip into those little areas there.
Your glass nail file would work as well.
Oh, I wouldn't use that. Too nice.
If you've got normal nail files, you can use them as well. The metal ones. And
Yeah, I suppose you could use a metal nail file, couldn't you?
yeah. Get right into
So
the
the same
corners
sort
as
of
well.
same sort of technique. Right, and then the first time I did this, I absolutely knackered my hands because I was holding it up and trying to use the sanding block at the same time. So if you're going to do this, I would advise... I don't know why this camera is so wonky. Why is this camera so wonky? Sorry for wobbling around, but it's driving me mad. Right, so the easiest thing to do is to actually raise it up a little bit so that you've got something to rest on that you can actually work on. So rather than trying to hold it in one hand and then use your sanding block in the other hand, if you just rest it onto something, a tin of beans or anything that'll raise it up, that would be a good idea. Morning, Jordan. Newbie. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the sandpaper and I'm just going to work all the way around, always pulling just one way down so that it sands off all the excess bits. And if you do get a little bit in the corner and you think, oh, I just can't get it out, then just pull it out. It doesn't matter because we're going to distress it all anyway, so it'll all get hidden. So just make sure that you don't go up as well, because you might end up ripping and pulling your paper. So I'm just going to go all the way around. Unfortunately, we can't get sanding blocks anymore. We used to be able to get them from one of our suppliers, but they closed and were taken over by another company, and the other company don't do them, so we can't get them. But this, I think, was actually a nail. Well, I think some of it was used as a nail block, but I don't know if Ian stuck on some normal sandpaper. But you can pick up sanding blocks from DIY shops anyway.
Use an acrylic block by holding the sandpaper around this acrylic block.
Yeah, sanding block is easier though.
Yeah.
So it comes off fairly easily as you work your way around. Couple of awkward bits, but that's all right. You can cut it with a knife if you wanted to, but you tend to get a better finish if you do it this way. A little bit there, being a bit awkward. and you get a nice workout as well. Whew. Oops, a bit's fallen off. And then this last bit, I do have to hold it just so I can get in there. Just try and get in as close as you can. So there we are, so that's all worked all the way around there, so it's nice and flush. So you get a nice clean finish all the way around the edge then. So I'm just going to clear up this mess. Chuck it in my recycling bin. Back in 2 secs. And I'm back in the room. Morning, Becky. Right. Grab a bit of coffee. Right, so then this little extra flappy bit that I've got here, what I did on the first one was I just cut it as a straight line. It's not excessively obvious, you can see it a little bit, but I thought on this one what I would do was tear it. So what I did on the first half was I just made a little bit of a score line and then gave it a tear, so it gives it a little bit of a rougher edge. So when it comes to applying your top coat of Mod Podge as a sealer, it hopefully will blend in a little bit better. And obviously if you're going to decorate it with flowers or anything, or butterflies or whatever, then you can cover up any of those areas a little bit more as well. There we are. So so that's where my HO go, and that's where my M and E go. Nice paper, isn't it, this? And that's the thing, you can use any old paper that you want. If you've got a stack of 12x12s, like most of us have. Morning, Tracy. Hi, Brenda. Right, what's next? Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of distressing around the edges. So I'm going to use gilding polish, and the one I'm going to try and use, if I've got enough of it, is the Enchanted Gold. Not sure which ones we've got in stock at the moment. I think we've only got a couple in stock. They do loads of different colours. So if there are any particular colours that you're looking for, just let us know and we can order them. Because there are just, I don't know how many colours there are, but there's quite a few, and so we tend to just stick with a couple of the more popular colours. Yeah, so if there is a particular colour that you're after, just let us know. And this one is Enchanted Gold. So they do come, all of the gilding polishes, Cosmic Shimmer gilding polishes, they all come in a glass container like this with a screw lid, and then they come with an applicator in the top. And the easiest way to open them or to get the applicator out, there are a couple of little tabs that you can pull off if you want to, but we tend to just leave them on. And then all we tend to do is just push the applicator sideways and then it'll pop off and then you can use that. I'm not actually going to be using the applicator because I need to get into these little tight corners and things, so I'm actually going to be using a smoothie. So this is the larger size smoothie, and we do have some of these in stock at the moment. They're I think it's a pack of 2. I think it's a pack of 2. So they're on the website if anyone's interested. Hi Lucy. Oh, Brenda's making banners. Interesting. Right, so then it's the same principle with all of the gilding polishes, preferably ones that are fuller than this pot. And then all you need to do is just get a little bit of the polish onto your applicator or your smoothie, whichever. I don't know if this is going to work because I don't know if there's enough in here. Usually you tend to make sort of like a ski slope up the side because you need just a very small amount on your sponge. Let me see if this is going to work. It is there. Don't know if it's going to be a bit too subtle. And then what I tend to do with the smoothie is just pounce it. Yeah, you can just about see it, I think. Don't know if it shows up on the camera or not. But you just pounce it on the edge. And it just gives the edge a bit of a distressed effect. And it also gives the top bit a bit of a distressed effect as well. You can work it a bit more. Obviously the one I did before was the graphite one. I used graphite on my first project, and which was obviously a darker colour. Very subtle, but then this one is going to be more of a shabby chic style. And then the thing about smoothies is because they've got a wide, a broad part on one side, and then they've got a point on the other side. It means all these little narrower, pointy areas you can actually get in with the smoothie on the pointy side. So just get some of the gilding polish on there, and then just this is, I could really do with a new one of these. Why do I always have to pick something that's we're running out of? I blame Ian. Hi Peter, how are you? Haven't seen you for a while. Going to try and whiz around this as best as I can. Can we all see the finish? See what it looks like? this is going to take me forever. I might change to this one, because that's driving me potty, that one is. It's not the colour I was going to use, but this is Pearl Luster, so this might actually work a bit better because there's a bit more in the pot. It's more of a pearlescent-y silvery finish, but it still looks quite nice. There's a shop nearby that sells them. Sells what?
Smoothies. Smoothies.
Just click on the link, Peter, at the bottom. And there, a lot of the stuff that we're demonstrating is on the website.
Gilding stuff you're running out of, you said.
Oh, I know, we were in the shop yesterday. Could pick some more up.
Yeah, every Monday.
If we had, I'm not sure even know if we've got any. I don't know what we got in the shop at the moment. It's all a bit unprecedented at the moment. Things a bit pear-shaped. You don't smoke, do you, Peter? Yeah, you can see the gilding polish around the edges there, can't you? And the smoothies do give a really nice. They do what they say on the tin. They give a really nice, smooth finish.
They don't come in the tin.
All right, they do what they say on the pack. Yes, I think it's just as well I changed to this. Otherwise, we would have been here till about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Has everyone shared our Facebook Live on their pages for us, on your timelines? Morning, Val. Well, there we are, Donna. You can get cracking now, can't you? Because you can use these, the gilding polishes, you can obviously use in car making. Give some really nice, you can make some nice backgrounds with them as well.
Use on Friday.
Oh yeah, Ian said you can use them on Friday when he's doing his craft along as well.
So while Gavin's doing it, craft along on Friday, 2 o'clock. So that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on this Friday, which I think is the 1st. You will need some wax paper and an iron, and then the rest of the stuff you'll see on the post on Facebook, on Valleycraft Facebook, of what you need for the craft along. And we're going to be doing one with sympathy card and one card for a man.
As per Sarah's request. People often struggle with men's cards. Always hard to do for. And this gilding polish does dry really quickly as well, so the first bit that I did isn't all over my jumper, which is good. Morning, Michael. Hiya, Pam. Hello, Beryl. How are you? Lots of new faces. Oh, dear. It may be damp today, but it's blooming warm. So I'm just going to use the pointy bit just on these little tight bits. Don't have to be too precise because it's the distressed look after all. And distressed look is coming very easy to me at the moment. This lockdown. There we are. So,
do you say stressed look or distressed?
Distressed. Well, stressed and distressed. You can just about see. It gives it. Oh, I like that actually. I quite like that. Get rid of some of that gold that I put on earlier. So you can go as thick or as thin as you want on the edge of that. My fingers are covered in it now. What did you distress with? This is a smoothie that I've used, and I've used gilding polish, and this is this one is pearl luster. I was going to use the enchanted gold, but we're almost out of that, so I gave up with that and went on to pearl luster instead, which is a nice finish actually. And the one thing to remember as well with all of the Cosmic Shimmer products, because they're water based, once you finish using them, give them a couple of squirts with a spritzer bottle and then put the lid back on. It just helps to keep the product moist inside, Yeah, so even if you're only going to be using it again later today, I'd still give it a couple of squirts, because it can't do any harm as long as you don't squirt it too much. Then that's fine. So I'm just going to quickly rinse my hands.
Thank you for posting all the son's delivery for us yesterday, Gaynor, as well. Thank you.
Oh yes. Yeah, she did say she got it, so thanks for that. Yeah, because it's water-based product, it comes off really easily. Hi Rachel, how are you? Morning Wendy. This is still morning. Hi Sam. There we are, so that's that. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put another coat of Mod Podge on the top of that, because we did test, because we weren't sure if, because the gilding polish is a water-based product, and the Mod Podge is obviously a water-based product as well, we weren't entirely sure if they would interfere with each other, but they don't. I tested it out on a piece of paper first of all, and as long as your gilding polish is dry, which that is now anyway, you should be okay to put another coat of the Mod Podge over the top, and then what that'll do is it'll completely seal everything in, and it means that if you are putting it up in your house or whatever, you're not gonna get the dust and everything, dirt ingrained in it, because it'll have a sealed coat on top. Hi Tracy Beth. Don't forget to share, peeps. Just click the little share button at the bottom. Either share it on your timeline or invite people that you think might be interested in watching. Yeah, and then just going to paint again, working towards the edges. So a nice even coat over the surface. And it's best, I think I've found it's better to try and keep doing it one way rather than going in lots of different directions. As you can see, it's not affecting the gilding polish at all. It's just going over the top and giving it a nice seal. Ooh, these people with two names. Hi, Claire Louise. Is it Claire Louise you call yourself? Or just Claire? And Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Oh, glad you enjoyed that, Rachel. If nothing else, it's just a bit of tranquil time, isn't it? To just sit and relax and enjoy a bit of crafting. So I'm just using the foam brush again to give a nice even coat over the top of the paper. So then I'll do the other side as well. Make sure you give a decent coat on the join bit as well, so it stays nice and adhered. And work towards the edges as well, because you don't want Not that it would pull up, but it just gives a neater finish, I think. Hi, Melody.
None of these people are coming up on my phone.
Strange, isn't it?
So I don't think Sam Shotcut came up in those.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did.
Is that a pun? Is there a pun in there, Rachel? You're glued to watching this. And can you hear my nice music in the background? This is on YouTube. It's Yellow Brick Cinema. We love Yellow Brick Cinema. If you go onto their channel, they have absolutely tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of really nice, relaxing music, meditation music, healing music, calming music, music for sleeping. And I think this one that I'm playing at the moment is like 12 hours long, so you can just stick it on and forget about it. And it's royalty free as well, so I've got no worries about them muting it on YouTube or anything like that when we upload it. No, they're probably all still in bed, Rachel, on a day like today. There we are. So that's the Mod Podge coated nicely on there. So I'm just going to leave that aside to dry off for a bit and try not to stick my hand in it. And then I'm going to ask Ian to give that a wash for me. Thank you. I will be after. Give this a quick wipe as well, so I don't get all sticky. And this is just water again, so because it's a Mod Podge is a water-based product. So nice and clean. Anyone got any questions? Anything they want to know? So this is my home, which anyone that missed it, this is just the MDF coated with the primer. And I'm just going to simply go around these with the same gilding polish. And as you can see, I spritzed that earlier, so there is still a little bit of water in there, but it doesn't matter because it just helps to make it flow a little bit easier. So I'm going to be using my smoothie again. I'll start on one of the ones that are really dry, and then just going along the edges. Yeah, the enchanted gold would have looked lovely on these, I think. Would have been a nice contrast. But there we are.
asking a question.
Do we sell these as a pack? Do we sell what as a pack? Do you mean the MDF signs? Because if you do, then they're on the, just click on the link on the website at the bottom, and they're on there. So we've got, at the moment we've got Home and Love. There's the two options. But if they prove popular and if people want them, then we'll do some more words. We've had a couple of requests for things like sew and create. Craft, I think, is another good one. So I'm just using the narrower end on the smoothie, just to get into all the little fiddly bits on this. Obviously there's all sorts of different ways you can decorate these. You don't have to do it like this. You could just decorate it with acrylic paints. I think I'm actually going to do another one with our home colours. We've got sort of blues and teals and things in our lounge, so I'm going to do another one. We've got striped wallpaper as well on one wall, so I'm going to actually do it in stripes. You know, so you're only limited by your imagination. Yeah, I think Noel will be a good one for Christmas. Gainer. And then you can use Christmassy colours, or you can use your own, whatever colours you use on your Christmas tree to coordinate. Maybe put some poinsettias on it as well, that'd be nice. Yeah, it's a lovely product, the gilding polish. And the one thing I'm always also making sure I do as well, it's not so bad with this one, but when I was using the graphite, because it's a darker colour, I always make sure that I check my hand isn't covered in gilding polish before I pick up my piece of MDF, because there'd be nothing worse than having a big blob of gilding polish right in the middle of your M. Hi Dewi, how are you? See, I sound almost Welsh, don't I, pronouncing all these Welsh names? When I first came to Wales, I would have pronounced Dewi as Dewey. I soon learned. Dries really quickly, this gilding polish as well, so you don't have to worry about making too much of a mess or waiting between doing edges. If you can see the edges on there. Takes a bit of time, but does give a nice finish, nice edge to it. If you wanted a stronger finish, you could use a contrasting colour of acrylic paint and then just dab that around, or you could use a dye-based ink or anything like that. Ooh, one of the nice opaque inks that we do. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Ooh, so it got me thinking now. That's the thing, you can mix all sorts of different mediums. Doesn't have to be all the same. Yeah, the opaque inks would be lovely, I think, with this.
Might have to watch with the Mod Podging after the inks. Might have to get a spray sealer. Seems to be more likely to move with Mod Podge.
Wenglish, Caroline says. Sarah would like a Noel one as well.
Some Noel ones. So she wants.
All right. Yeah, we're doing them to order, so we've got the laser cutter at home now, so whenever you want them, you don't have to have them now if you don't want. And obviously it's Christmas is still quite a way off.
If you would like a different word to what that's already on our website, if you can just let us know which words you'd like, and then we can add those words to the website so that you can then order them, and then we'll know how many to make. So that would be easier. You're right, we can get all confused.
So three Noels for Gaynor. Did you want them now, Gaynor, or for next Monday? Oh, so that's marked H. So that's all of the gilding done now. So what I would do is I'm going to give my hands another quick rinse because I'm covered in it again. And you can also just rinse your smoothie just so that it's relatively clean.
Hi, John. Hi, Deborah.
I'm back. Oh, hi Sarah. Whenever is best for you, Gainer. Well, if I do them, it's probably better if I do them earlier rather than later, otherwise we'll only forget. Hi Deborah, how are you? Morning Mel, loving your plant pots. They were fab, they were. So this is more or less dry now. I'll just give it a quick whiz over. So it doesn't take long to dry because you only put quite a thin coat on anyway, so yeah, that's pretty dry. So you know that that is nice and sealed in now. Now I need to put a coat of the Mod Podge onto the letters as well to seal that. And then the last thing I'm going to do, I think, Ian, have we got any pink snot drops? The last thing I'm going to be doing is using some of the pearlescent PVA glue drops. I've got gold out, so I mean gold might be alright, but a nice sort of vintage pinky sort of colour would be nice, wouldn't it? So just a very quick coat of the Mod Podge over this. So Mod Podge, as you can see, you don't use very much of it at all, so it goes a long way, and it's very versatile as well. You can use it on all sorts of different things. Mel would be able to paint it on her pots. Mel's done some, she's decorated some of her flower pots outside, and she's put little faces on them. So you could paint some of the Mod Podge on to just seal that in.
The gold, didn't you? To call the gold.
Yeah, but I put silver around the edge now.
You just put the gold in there.
So do you think that should I use silver or gold?
Or mixture?
Could do a nice vintage peach.
Do you think Gavin should use a combination of silver pearl drops and gold, or just stick to one?
With those colours, with the backing.
Sarah Brown wants 10.
Oh, good grief. So 10... So you want 10 Noels, 1 home and 1 love. I can't remember actually. I think they... What did they work out? I think it was about £6, was it? I think it's about £6. So the Noel would, because it's the same sort of same number of letters, that it would work out the same price, I'm sure.
Silver and gold for good luck.
Silver and gold for good luck. Is silver and gold supposed to be lucky then?
Stick to one gold, gold only. So far it's gold only. Out does silver and gold. So.
Well, I'll start with gold and then I'll see See how I feel after that, I think. In that case.
So I think people use blue tack just to put Christmas ones, can't they?
Yeah. Yeah, because I haven't put any drill holes or anything in them because I thought, well, I don't want them to be drilled into the wall because that'll be a bit of a, and they don't need to be because it's only 3mm MDF. It's not particularly heavy anyway. So yeah, you can either use blue tack or sticky dots or double-sided tape even. If you're not worried about it ripping your wallpaper off your wall when you decide to take it off. But if it's going to be for Christmas or something like that, then blue tack I think would be perfect. Blue tack or white tack or whatever. I never know what the difference is between blue tack and white tack apart from the colour.
That is the difference.
Anyone know what the difference is? Is there a difference between blue tack and white tack? Is one stickier than the other?
No.
Answers on a postcard, please.
Sarah's planning ahead. That's what she
Good grief. That's organised, isn't it? But then now's the best time to be planning ahead. Hi Jackie, how are you? Did you get your delivery okay yesterday? I posted it through your letterbox. So hopefully it got through in one piece. So just give that a quick wipe. Big thank you to everyone who's been placing orders on the website over the last couple of weeks for store pickup, contactless store pickup, or we've been delivering lots of orders locally and posting orders out as well. Our couriers are all still working, so thank you for that. It's much appreciated. Oh good. Glad you got it all right, Jackie. Just going to clean my brush quickly. Ooh, I was going to pick up another brush from the shop yesterday, another foam brush, but I forgot. So if I had two, then I won't have to clean them again, clean them so much. Dawn's emailed with an order.
Yeah, probably for different words.
Oh. I shall have a look at that later. Right, so now I need to make sure that these are dry, so they're still a little bit wet, so I'll just give them a quick blast. And it's like that, is it, Dawn? I'm going to need a few glasses, am I? You certainly do that, don't you, Dawn? How's everything going in work? You keeping safe? Oh, so those are more or less dry now. Hi Maria. Afternoon. So which one did I do first? I think it was the E, wasn't it? Right, so I think what I'm going to do before I do the mere blobs, I'm going to actually glue them to my base piece. That'll be the safest way to do it. Oh right, oh, that's probably a good thing that you're off, Dawn. At least you're not on the front line at the moment. Right, so the glue I'm going to use, I'm not going to use Mod Podge because Mod Podge is can be a little bit thin, and if you want a really strong fixing so that your letters aren't going to fall off. So the glue I tend to use now, which we love, is our favourite glue of all time, is the High-Tack. This is the original High-Tack, very sticky glue. Does what it says on the bottle. And this is it's like a gold, well, it's not gold, what colour is that? Bronze bottle. And we love this. I absolutely love this glue because it's really versatile. The bung that it comes with is like a silicone bung, I think, something like that. And because it's such a snug, tight finish, when you take it off, your glue never gets clogged in the nozzle, which is amazing. One thing that always drives me potty with PVA glues is when they get clogged in the nozzle. I hate a clogged nozzle. So HO goes there. So start with my H. See, the glue's flowing straight away. Oh, so a bit of glue there, and then stick that onto my base. Grabs really quickly, this glue as well. Stuck already. It's amazing.
You don't have much time. Dawn's off long term back.
Yeah. And then I got me O. Doesn't really matter which way around you put your O. That's come out really nice actually. It's really looks part of the back, which is what it's supposed to do. There we are. Here's my M. And then my E. Hi Alison, thanks for joining us. Are you covered in twinkling embossing powders? There we are. All stuck. See, it's amazing glue. Fab, love it. Stick the bung back on again and then that'll be fine. So what did we say? We said gold, didn't we?
Yes.
For the blobs. Right, so unfortunately the Cosmic Shimmer products don't have the same magic bung on them as the high-tack glue. So normally it's a good idea to try and make sure that your nozzle is clear. I tend to use a paper clip because it's a bit thicker. And then to make sure it's clear, normally when you squeeze it you can hear the air whistling through it. You need to make sure that you've got a clear nozzle.
So make sure it's clear, isn't it, Tracy?
No, that was glitter glue, that was.
Yeah, no, but same nozzle.
Yeah. Yeah, we had
it goes off like a firecracker.
We had one customer ages ago, not long after we'd started buying the pearlescent PVA glues, and the top of the nozzle, it was bunged up, and she turned it upside down, gave it a really good squeeze, and the whole nozzle came off, and it just went bleh, all over the table, all over her project. And then of course Tracy, one of our other customers, had a similar problem with glitter glue, but hers went up onto the ceiling instead because she squeezed it hard and it went boom and ended up all over the ceiling in our shop. So we had a nice glittery carpet for quite a while. Oh, Alison's been DIYing, check you out. Right, so if you're right-handed, I would always advise working from the left side to the right, otherwise you'll end up putting your hands in the blobs. And obviously if you're left-handed, I'd start on the right and work your way to the left. And then with these, just get the glue flowing first of all, so it starts coming down the nozzle, and then it's just a case of letting it drop out. This will be a challenge now. Onto your letter, and the bigger blob you have, the bigger pearl you'll end up with. So can you see that? Hopefully, just about. Yeah. And the thing to be careful about as well is whenever you're applying the blobs, always try and make sure that you pull your nozzle up rather than to the side, because if you end up going to the side, you'll end up with a tadpole. And then you can just vary the size of your blobs, so you can do some small blobs. You can do some slightly bigger blobs. You can do some tiny blobs. And it's just a case of see how it grabbed hold and I have a tadpole. So if I make that blob a little bit bigger, that's concealed my tadpole. But that's the only thing you have to be careful with, really, is making sure that it doesn't end up going into a tadpole.
Hi Vicky.
Oh, another tadpole.
We have a lot of big ones on there. Great tadpoles.
You can let it dry and then clean it up a little bit afterwards as well, so it's not the end of the world. And then just try and be nice and random. Keeps grabbing hold.
Could just stick different size pearls on if they wanted to.
You could just use pearls if you wanted, yeah. No reason why not. Hi Vicky, how are you? So it's always best to hold your bottle upright as well. Just makes it easier to let the liquid flow out, and you're less likely to end up with tadpoles. I didn't do any thingy on the middle of that. Oh well. Yes, I think the pink would have been lovely on this. A nice vintage pink. And I think we've got vintage pink in the shop as well.
Look, everybody buy it before Gavin gets it.
Yep. Well, so there's all sorts of different techniques that you could do. You could leave them leave them nice and plain if you wanted. If you wanted them to just stay nice and simple. You don't have to do this technique. You could just paint them a solid colour, or put the gilding polish all the way over them as well. You could do the same technique as you did with the background and actually use a contrasting piece of paper.
Use texture paste through stencils.
Texture paste through stencils, inks.
Put a thin coat of dry clay and push your...
Pixie powders would be nice as well.
That'd be a good one. Take your dry clay, roll it thinly over the wording and stick it on there, and then push your embossing powders into it. And get texture from the embossing powder.
Yeah, you could do.
Told you it was a good craft shop, Yvonne said. I know, they've got everything, Yvonne.
Well, not everything, but...
But Gavin's trying to use the products I've got at home instead of trying to take it from the shop, so that it leaves more products in the shop for you, so that there's more colours there for you to use. That's why Gavin's got no pink here today.
The sacrifices I have to make. Shocking, isn't it?
We do try our best, Yvonne, to
We
make
are.
it a good shop.
We are very trying.
Well, one of us is.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. Oh, tadpole.
We thought you might enjoy your jerky.
So, I've got a few tadpoles there, but I'm gonna... Oh, Ian's gonna get me a pokey tool and try and clean that up a bit, because it'll drive me potty otherwise. Alright, so that's my little blobs, my gold blobs. They will dry more gold, but obviously because they're a PVA based product, they have it's like normal PVA, it will dry clear. So hopefully the colour will shine through better once they're dry. If I show you the one I did before, you can see that the silver ones, and then the pearlescent ones, and then I've got a very dark, like a graphite colour one, I think, on those blobs.
Black.
So they do come out nice and metallic-y. Where is it? Oh, there it is. That'll do. Is there another one? So you can rescue your tadpoles. If you're careful. That'll do. So I would leave those to dry. Oh, hi Marina, how are you? I would leave those to dry for I'd probably leave them for the rest of the day just to make sure that they are dry, because they may be touch dry on the surface in a couple of hours, but obviously the bigger blobs are going to take a bit longer to dry. So I'd leave that overnight to let it all dry. Thank you for the loves and the likes. There we are. So that's that. And then the only other thing that I would be tempted to do, especially with this design, because it's got a vintage, like a shabby chic design, I did think that some of the some of the sort of shabby chic style flowers that I've made using flower forming foam, which I did in another Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago, they would look really nice, I think. There's all sorts of different ones here. Yeah, maybe not that one. Yeah, so you can, so it's entirely up to you how you want to decorate it. You can stick some flowers around. Yeah, obviously wait until it's dry. I might actually do that. I might have a play with some flowers this afternoon. I do think that the vintage pink one, blobs, would have been perfect for that. It's not too bad. If I turn it sideways so that you can actually see it a bit better. Yeah, so it's entirely up to you how you want to decorate it. You can use some flower forming foam flowers. You could use paper flowers and then put some either spray varnish, or you could even put Mod Podge on the flowers to give them a seal, just so that they're easier to dust. Thank you, Dawn. Hi, Lorraine. How are you? You've come in at the end. There we are. So what does everyone think? Do you like? Ian likes it.
Debbie likes it.
Yeah, so you can go up completely over the top and put lots of flowers, maybe some butterflies, all sorts of things on that. But if I take those off for the minute, and then I would just stick those down either with a hot glue gun or silicone glue, 3D glue gel. But then you can put that on your door frame or on the side of a mirror. something like that. Oh well, so that's, what time is it? 12:43. Oh, there we are, it's not too bad. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for sharing, and if you've missed most of it, you can watch it again on Facebook later on, or we'll be uploading it to YouTube, so that should be up by the end of today, along with all the other videos that we've recorded. Thank you again for all your support. Glad you liked it, Deborah. Yes, they do look nice, don't they, Carolyn? Yeah, I'm going to have to do some more, I think. Some more of the vintagey ones. Some more distressed look flowers, I think, on that. Thanks, Valerie. Yes, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Yvonne uses dust as a protection cover. So it does have a use then. Oh well, so that was the one we've done today, and that was the one that I painted before using more black and white tones and graphite gilding polish. Alright, okie dokie. So Ian is going to be doing a craft along on Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So as soon as we have got the list for that, we'll probably take a photo and put it on our Facebook page, and I shall try and send out an email as well, and then I'll get cutting all of the Noels. I'll get designing the Noel first of all, and cutting those and everything for Sarah and Gaynor, and anyone else that's interested in any of those. Where would I put it? But I love the idea of them on it. Yeah, Mel, the idea is that it's designed so that you put it on the door frame. So your door is there, and then it would go on the top of your door frame, either that way or that way. Or you could put it, if you don't want to put it on a door frame, or if you've got low ceilings, then you could put it on the corner of a mirror, or if you've got a nice painting or picture, a family picture or something, then you could put it onto the corner of that and just stick it on with blue tack. So yeah, so all sorts of different ways you can display that. Hi Janet, just missed us, but you can watch us back again later. Alright, well thanks very much everyone, and we shall hopefully see you all on Friday for Ian's craft along. Take care and be safe, and don't forget to share the Facebook posts with everyone that you can think of, and that would be fabulous. Okay, love to you all, bye.